So I was in the 8th grade, and that morning started off like any other school day. Come on, Julian, what's the holdup? You're in the 3rd grade. How long does it take you to get ready anyways? Come on, Steph, you've been trying to curl your hair since 5 in the morning. And guess what? It's not working. All right, bro. Okay, you're ready. My older brother was a senior, and I was only in the 8th grade. So after patiently waiting for everybody to finish getting ready, it was finally time to go. So we hopped in my mom's minivan and drove a block away to get to my brother's elementary school. The second he hopped out of that car, we were zooming across town to get to my middle school. And right when my mom parked the car, I hopped out of there and began running to my first period class. And in my rush, I realized that I forgot to give my mom a kiss goodbye. So right when I walked into that first period classroom door, the bell rang and I had made it. And the rest of that school day was extremely boring. So I was relieved when the bell rang at 2:50 to let us go home. I met up with some friends real quick and we started walking to the front where I usually get picked up at. And just as I neared that front gate, I got a phone call. And it was my dad. I answered the phone and I said hello, and he says, Hobby, we're in a serious car crash behind the school. My heart sank. I ended the phone call, got my phone in my pocket, and I ran. I ran so blindly that I ran to the wrong backside of the school. If I had just gone the other way, all I would have had to have done was run about 100 meters. But by me going all the way around, I actually ran about the length of 2 football fields to get to where I needed to be, to where the car crash was. And halfway down that block, I heard sirens. That's when I started to hear the sirens. My heart sank again. And I started running even faster. And just as the scene of the car crash came into my vision, I ran even harder. And when I got to the scene, hands above my head, out of breath, I was in shock to what I was seeing. It was complete chaos, traffic. And as I started scanning the scene from left to right, it seemed everything was in slow motion. The car that I had been driven in basically my entire life was lying there on its side with a huge crater indented into the side of it. And in my confusion, I didn't even know where my parents were. I must have been standing there for about 15 or 20 minutes when I see my cousin come up to me. She told me that she's there to pick me up and take her back to her house. So I followed her instructions, and during that car ride home, I vaguely remember her trying to just bring up these random stories to try to relax me. But as I sat in that passenger side door, I was in like shock. I was just staring straight blindly. My mind was just exercising any possibility of how serious this car crash actually was. And nothing changed when I got into her house. I sat down on that black sofa in her living room, staring blankly in front of me. About 20 or 30 minutes later, my brother got there, with my sister as well, coming from high school, and they joined me in the living room. Not too long after that, my cousin came and she said that she was going to take us to the hospital. So we got into the car and we headed to the hospital. When we got there, we entered the front door and we asked the lady what room my mom was in. And when we got upstairs, she told us that we were going to have to hurry up. So we ran to the room, and when we entered that, we saw my mom laying down there on the hospital bed with my dad to her side. My dad was there laying by her side, and he was lucky enough to get out of that car crash with just bruises and scratches. But when we looked at my mom, she looked completely beat up. We noticed that she had a huge cast all up against her left leg. It turns out that she had broken her leg and her body was completely beaten up. So as a family, we all just circled around the table of where she was laying, and we just realized that car crash could have been more serious than what it actually was. And that's when we realized that was just, like, we have to be grateful for everything that we have. So we just sat there in silence for a couple more hours, just being by her side. And that was probably the scariest day of my life.